There's my DGens. What's going on, guys? What is going on this evening? All right, let's dive into the charts. Let's see what's happening around the market. See who's all here, guys. As always, please make sure you hit the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow, and it doesn't cost you a thing. It's the holiday season, so give the gift of helping the channel grow. That would be absolutely amazing of you. Jetpack, what's up, buddy? Power to the people. Venom, you definitely have to have patience. Patience is the key to financial freedom. I want to break free. Way of the Taco, what's going on? Now, this smells like a crazy bull run. If you smell what the taco is cooking. All right, Jovan, what's up, brother? 3K Sports Unlimited in the house. What's going on, man? What's going on? All right, let's have a look over at the JASMY chart, see what's going on. Still kind of ping-ponging, guys. We could very well see a correction down to this level here at 4 cents. If Bitcoin continues to suck all the air out of the room. The altcoins acting like a freaking asthma patient right now. No oxygen in the room for them. The Golden Cross is still waiting to play out here on JASMY. So bullish on that, guys. Still a good DCA opportunity. I stopped DCAing a while ago. I think I'm going to start again. You want to know why? Because I can. And because things look juicy, right? We're being given an opportunity, and who am I to look a gift horse in the mouth? I might as well just make it rain, fill the bags, continue to stuff those bags. If you want to know what I'm buying, get over to the Patreon, because I will be letting everybody there know tonight when I go live on the Patreon what I will be buying. So get over there for that. So yeah, we're just kind of ping-ponging here, guys, inside the symmetrical triangle. Like I said, we will likely see a pull down to 4 cents here. Will it hold its support? I don't know. We'll have to find out, right? It acted as resistance 2 days in a row back here, and then it was support. Then here it acted as support again for 1, 2, 3 days in a row. So it is a significant level. We will likely test it again before continuing to the upside. If we go over to Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin's down at 105,435. I never thought I'd say those words. Bitcoin is down to $105,000. We could see Bitcoin retest $101,000, guys, right here at this support level. Now, we had a conversation in a video call over on the Patreon yesterday, and I told everybody there last night that it was very possible that we were going to come back down and test this level. Is it mandatory? Of course not. But it would be healthy if we did, guys. It would be healthy. You know why it would be healthy? Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 out of 10 days that we were down here, 9 of those days, that 101,000 acted as resistance. We need to use it as support. So we never came back down and retested $101,000 as support before we continue up. So that would actually be very positive if we did that. Now, it doesn't have to be a long, drawn out, strenuous thing. It could just wick down there and then wick back up, right? It would still be healthy to use that as support. So don't be surprised to see a little bit of a wick down to $101,000 just before we continue to the upside. That would be perfectly okay. It would be perfectly healthy. It would not be any reason for anybody to panic, right? It wouldn't mean the bull run is over. I know you'll see a lot of people claiming things like that. But if we go over to the Bitcoin dominance continues to rise to the upside. As you can see, 57.94% right now. So, and working its way up. I would not be shocked at all, guys, to see Bitcoin dominance put in a new high before coming back down. I could see us coming higher than 60,000. What do we wick? We wicked all the way up to 61,052 or 61,000, 61.52%. I wouldn't be shocked to see us climb a little bit higher than that, maybe up to about 63, 64, 65K, percent before coming back down again, right? I wouldn't be surprised to see that. So what we're seeing right now, guys, from what seems to be playing out, if you recall about 5 or 6 weeks ago, well, not even that long ago, really. If you recall, let's go back to the Bitcoin chart and I'll show you something. If you recall this area right here, right, a few weeks ago, this whole area where we consolidated and bounced between 98,600 and 92,000. When we ping-ponged inside of here all this time, this is the phase where Bitcoin consolidated and altcoins started to melt up, if you remember, right? It was altcoins starting to catch up. So what happened was altcoins, I'll bring up the JASMY chart, altcoins came up from here. This is where they were. They melted up, and then they put in what? They put right here a higher low. They're building a new level of consolidation right here, right? So what we're seeing again is Bitcoin sucking the air out of the room again. Altcoins are consolidating the same way they did down here, right? They're consolidating while Bitcoin steals the show. So if we go back over to Bitcoin, we saw Bitcoin dominance starting to rise. So Bitcoin is going to start making its way up even higher. Some people think as high as 125K. So Bitcoin's going to come up, and then it's going to meet a new level of resistance, just like down here, just like this area right here, okay? And then when it does that and it starts to consolidate and build strength like it did here, that is where you'll start to see altcoins start to melt up once again. If we go back over to the JASMY chart, right, that's where you will see, that's where you'll see where JASMY will likely, and altcoins in general, will likely start to melt up to the next level, right? Where I think JASMY will end up being somewhere around 10 to 12 cents. And then it will start to build another level of consolidation. It'll pull back a little bit and consolidate, right? Maybe between 7 to 9 cents or something. But the point is, guys, we just watched this whole thing play out already, right? So we're just watching it play out again. Bitcoin's going to make its next leg up. It's going to meet some resistance. It's going to build up some support. Altcoins will start to catch up to it again, building higher lows, right? New levels of consolidation. So that's what I see happening here, guys, over the next couple of weeks, which is fantastic. And I just scribbled all over the place, right? So there you go. So that's kind of what I see playing out here, guys. So don't panic. It's all good in the hood. Maybe dollar cost average, not financial advice. You do you, boo-boo. But, yeah. Let's go have a look at the crypto bubble, see what's going on across the market. DCA, guys, that is the way, right? Some opportunity. I'm going to start buying again. Screw it. I'm going to start buying again, right? I'm going to stuff these bags even more. Why not? All right. So let's start getting into some of our news. All right, what do we got? Andre De Niro says, same thing happens every month, and you're still falling for it. Tomorrow is the FOMC. They will lower rates by 25 basis points. The day before the rate cuts is always red. Hours before, markets turn green again. Don't fall for the scam again. We're going higher, JASMY family. That's what he says. Let me catch up in the chat a little bit. Yo, Lily, what is going on? Galaxy Shooter, hey Rob, is the turbo announcement bullish? Does a pig shit stink? Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Rodney just made 100,000 XCM by staking. This is awesome. Nice. That is how babies are made, brother. That is how babies are made. John, what's up, buddy? Itching to scoop up the dip. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, we might see green tomorrow after the FOMC or just before the FOMC. So if anybody's thinking about DCAing, not financial advice, but tonight would probably be your opportunity. Beebs, what's up, buddy? good to see you, brother. Maurice, upside. We sure about that? You sure about that? You sure about that? Oh, we are sure about that. Matt, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Aaron is in the house, as always. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Alex, right? Funky, what's up, man? Howdy, howdy. Glenn, time to buy more Jasmy. Yep, when in doubt. When in doubt, time to buy more Jasmy. Bruno says, thanks for your daily updates on the market, Rob. Hey, no problem, man. I got the fries that'll cross your eyes, brother. Sledgehammer, what's up, man? Rob, thanks for the solid TA as always. I got your back, Jack. Dreadnought, I think we rally over the weekend. That would be awesome. I don't know why I said it in like a juggernaut kind of voice. Litecoin. Already DCA, SPL, if you have an altcoin request, brother, you got to put it at the top in the tab that says goals, and I will look at your altcoins. Already DCA'd. Nice. Take a look on the move. Yep, more money. You just got to participate in the goals tab at the top, and I will do your altcoin requests up there. Hell yeah, I get paid in a couple of days. So I'm cool with putting in more. I'm so used to putting in at this point. Well, that's the thing, guys. I had a discussion with one of our Patreon members today. I did a one-on-one coaching call with them. And one of the things that we spoke about was having to retrain your mind, right? Having to retrain your mind after spending 3 years teaching yourself to DCA and to HODL. Now you have to switch gears and teach your mind to sell everything. And you're going to have seller's remorse as a result, right? It's going to be a battle, guys. It's going to be a battle. Jasmy on sale. Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Jasmy, time is money. 6 cents incoming. Let's frickin' go. Take a look on the move. Yeah, like I said, there's a tab at the top. DCA request, man. If you participate, I will help you out. DCA day all the way. Thanks for all your updates. No problem, brother. Sir, you are in a mood today. Hope your migraine is gone and you're all good. You sound so jolly today. Thank you so much. I am feeling good. I'm feeling great. I had a good workout today. My migraine is not there right now. I feel good. I got some energy. I'm feeling great, brother. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for the latest info on Jasmy, mate. I will buy another 100K units of Jasmy now. That is how babies are made, brother. That's how it's done. 3K Sports, what do you think about Wall Street Pepe? Thank you. Wall Street Pepe. What the hell is that? Let me have a look here. Wall Street Pepe. What's the ticker on that? All I'm getting is liquidity pools over on CoinGecko. Let me check on CoinMarketCap. Yeah. Let me see if I can find it here. WEPE? Hang on. Yeah, all I'm getting is liquidity pools. But let me see. Oh, it's on pre-sale. That's why. I never even heard of it, man, honestly. But like I said, man, if you want to participate in these, not a bad idea. But what I would say is, just don't go too crazy, right? Just don't go too crazy with these kind of things. Like, just don't break your bank. Right, it's not a bad idea to kind of get into it a little bit, but just be careful, man. I'm sure this has been asked, but do you think BTC dominance will be prolonged due to the reserve talks? Yes, I do. I think the Bitcoin dominance is going to go up to 64, 60, between 63, 64, man. That's where I think it's going to end up. I think it's going to put in another high before it's all said and done. I think that Bitcoin is about to have a very big run to the upside. I told my wife earlier today I'm bored. I think I'm going to buy more crypto. Nice. Gene, what's your JASMY price prediction? Gene, you have asked me this question like 8 times in the last 2 weeks, and I've answered it probably 5 times. So I'm not going to keep answering the same question again and again. When I answer it, pay attention to it so that you know, right? I've been burned in pre-sale before. Yeah. There's all kinds of scams out there, right? That's the problem with it. That's the problem. But I mean, hey, some of them are good though, right? Some of them work out good. So, right, what do we have here? U.S. Strategic Reserve could push Bitcoin to 500K. What is this all about?
Bitcoin has enjoyed this incredible run, Matt. As we look ahead now to 2025, 12 months from now, Matt, you know, it's December 2025. We're talking here. Bitcoin is where, Matt? What do you forecast?
We're going to have, it's great to be here. We're going to have the same conversation that Bitcoin has had an incredible run. We expect Bitcoin to be up above $200,000 by this time next year.
Let's go.
There's 3 irrepressible sources of demand driving the market. You have ETFs that are vacuuming up Bitcoin. You have public companies like MicroStrategy vacuuming up Bitcoin. And now we're talking about governments vacuuming up Bitcoin. At the end of the day, it comes down to supply and demand. There's too much demand, not enough supply. And so I think the price goes higher in 2025.
I mean, Matt, rarely, though, do you see demand for an asset so sustained over this kind of a time period, right? Does it need new catalysts, or, I mean, is this effectively just a momentum trade with nothing really to stop it?
Well, I think the real story is people just wake up to Bitcoin at different paces. We saw retail investors get there first. We've seen companies and financial advisors get there. We're starting to see institutions get there. And once they realize that Bitcoin's not going away, that it belongs in a portfolio, they have to get off 0, get to 1%. BlackRock now says 2%. So it's just this cascading series of educational breakthroughs that brings new people into the market. Look, Bitcoin is now a global macro asset. It's a few $1 trillion. Pretty much every investor should have some, and we still have a large number of investors to go. That's why I think this is maybe a momentum trade. Maybe it's a one-off introduction, but we're still early in that journey. We have many quarters to go.
In terms of potential catalysts, Matt, I got to ask you about Trump and his support for this idea of a Bitcoin strategic reserve, Matt. What do you make of that? What do you think the odds are that actually happens? If it did happen, what would it mean for the price?
Yeah, I'll answer that last one first. If we do get a Bitcoin strategic reserve where the government is buying Bitcoin, and there's a bill from Senator Lummis that had the government buy 1 million Bitcoin, $200,000 Bitcoin is going to be looking quaint. You're going to be looking at $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 Bitcoin. It's just too big a story because governments all around the world would have to do it. When this initial idea was floated, I was somewhat skeptical of it, but over the months, it hasn't gone away. In fact, we continue to see leaders in the Trump administration suggest that they're open to it. I still think, maybe it's less than a 50% chance, but it's not 0. And again, if it happens, or if we start to see it happening in other countries, you're going to see, a rip up in Bitcoin that will make 2024 look pretty docile in comparison.
And one of the other predictions that you have for the coming year is that Coinbase is going to be a big beneficiary here. So big a beneficiary, then it's going to surpass Schwab in terms of brokerage size. Talk us through how you get from here to there.
Yeah, right now it's about half the size of Charles Schwab, and we think it could reach that and more. Coinbase is this really unique opportunity because there was so much regulatory suppression over the past few years. Coinbase hasn't had major competitors bubbling up to challenge it. It's sort of had a degree of regulatory capture, if you can believe it. And as a result, it's been able to sustain its high margins in brokerages and then layer on things like stable coins, like its layer 2 network base. It's executing extremely well. It has a limited competitive environment, and it's in an industry that's growing 100% year over year. When you add those 3 things together, you'll see this vault up the spectrum. It'll also help if it gets into the S&P 500 and you see institutions buying it broadly. But I think it's a really unique situation driven by the fact that there was so much regulatory uncertainty. It cleared the competitive path, and now it's going to reap those rewards and build really maybe an unassailable position leading this industry in the US.
I'm going to freaking reap those rewards, man. Guys, I'm so bullish. You don't even know. You don't even know. I'm so excited. All right, what we got here? Fax, what's up, buddy? One of my favorite people. What's going on, brother? Good to see you again, man. Good to see you again. Crypto Renaissance, I believe there will be no bear market anymore due to the governments, banks, and everyone buying this for long term. Supply shock will come and price will only streamline up every year. We've never seen this before in the past bull runs, 200 to 300K, extremely conservative. Crypto Renaissance, I respect your opinion, my friend, 100%. I respect you and I respect your opinion. I respectfully disagree with you, however. Multimillionaires and hedge funds and stuff did not become multimillionaires and multi-billionaires by becoming exit liquidity for retail investors. They're not going to hold at the top and ride it down to the bottom of a bear market. The only ones I see doing that are possibly MicroStrategy, among a couple other institutions, and pension funds. Everyone else is going to sell and take profits because they didn't get rich by being stupid. So I disagree with you respectfully. And you're entitled to disagree with me. I'll never be upset with you for that. This is not one of those channels where you're not allowed to disagree with me. You're absolutely allowed to, but the 4-year cycle has remained the 4-year cycle. All I would say to you is I would highly encourage you, obviously not financial advice, that if you're intending to not sell and not take profits because you believe there will not be a bear market, I would just say to you, make sure that you are prepared mentally and emotionally to ride everything down to the next bear market just in case that happens, right? That's what I would say to you, my friend. Funky, I'm thinking the same. I don't think retail will sell, but maybe I do believe this will be the last big bull run with no BTC on the exchanges. There will be entirely different playing field. I think you're going to see a big reset, guys. A lot of hedge funds, a lot of these ETF holders are going to sell, and what's going to happen through the bear market is you're going to see these OTC desks will refill their stockpiles of Bitcoin, their reserves. Exchanges will refill their reserves. Guys, this notion that people are not going to sell, every cycle people say that. Every cycle that narrative comes, and there's always some excuse why this time is different. It's not different, guys. Do what you want. You do you, boo-boo, right? I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm sure as hell taking my profits because I've been here for years. I've been here a long time, and I have seen so many people make that same assumption and end up riding everything through the bottom of a next bear market because they were wrong, right? Until the 4-year cycle breaks, the logical thing to do is to continue on assuming it will continue, right? Aaron, if Bitcoin goes up to 200K, then JASMY will go to $1. I see Bitcoin between 150 to 200K this bull run. That's where I think it's going to cap out at. So, guys, you have to understand, people saying that there's not going to be a bear market, even the stock market has a bear market, guys. There's not going to not be a bear market anymore, and it's just up and to the right forever. That's fantasy land, right? Like, I wish that would happen. It's not going to, right? Everything just keeps going up forever and never comes back down. Come on, guys. Come on. Really? You know, respectfully, like don't get me wrong here. I'm just trying to help you kind of tether you back down to reality here that everything's just going to keep going up forever and never come back down. You know? What do we got? $272.3 million worth of XRP shorts will get liquidated if XRP reaches $3, signaling a potential short squeeze. So, could see a big move on XRP, guys. Now, listen, I was tracking earlier today. I was tracking the Ethereum USDT chart and the Ethereum Bitcoin charts, right? I was just kind of seeing when I thought that Ethereum was going to make its move because we're still waiting for Ethereum to make its move before we start to see altcoins start to run. Now, if you look on the daily time frame for Ethereum, we have the 100-day getting ready to cross back over the 200-day. We have a golden cross coming in on the daily time frame for Ethereum against USDT. And so that's very, very bullish. And it has been making continuous moves to the upside. It's been continually setting in higher lows as well, right? Ethereum has continuing to put in those higher lows. If we go over to, check this out, guys. This is going to blow your mind. If we look at the Ethereum Bitcoin pair, we have an inverse head and shoulders getting ready to play out over here. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. Right? So things are looking good for Ethereum, not only against USDT, but also against Bitcoin's pairing, right? So we have a golden cross coming on the daily time frame with its USDT pair, and we have an inverse head and shoulders on Ethereum on its Bitcoin pair. So we are about to see Ethereum make a pretty violent move to the upside, in my opinion. We also have on the Bitcoin Ethereum pair, we also have the 30-day getting ready to pass back over the 100-day moving average. So we have a golden cross getting ready to play out there as well. So things look good for Ethereum, guys. I think a move to the upside is imminent on Ethereum. So that's very, very bullish. All right. What else do we have? Banks and governments usually hold super long term. Yeah, you're not wrong. A lot of new investors do not know about the 4-year cycle. There will be a lot of bag holders, and they will ride it to the bottom. The way of the taco during the bull run, does the market cycle alternate between a few months of bull runs followed by bear markets, then back? I mean, miniature ones, yes, miniature ones. I'm taking profits, but we'll end 2025 with one BTC holding and then back to things. Trump holds tax. Nice. Yeah, I mean, hey, you do you, right? I know what I'm doing. I've been around a long time, and I know exactly what I'm doing. So when the bear market comes, how long will BTC go? How low will it go? Oh, I don't know. It'll still, I think Bitcoin's the last market cycle. I think Bitcoin crashed about 70, I want to say 73, 75%, something like that. So maybe 60, between 60 and 70, somewhere between 60 and 70% Bitcoin will fall. The alts always crash between 90 and 95%, something like that. Some fall as low as 98, 99% in a bear market. So yeah. And then I will I will continue to scoop up Bitcoin at the bottom once again. I was just talking to my dad on the phone. He called me shortly before this stream, and I was telling him, hey man, you know, he's like, he says, should I start buying Bitcoin right now? I said, no. You should start buying it in 2026 when we get into a bear market, man. November, December should be the tipping point, 2025. Magic Power in the house. What's up, man? Then buy back in 2026 and build for selling. Nice. That's the plan, Stan. Do you think $8 trillion market cap is still possible? I think $10 trillion market cap is still possible, right? So, yes. Metaplanet issues 4.5 billion yen bonds for Bitcoin. Metaplanet Inc. has issued 4.5 billion, which is $30 million in zero interest bonds to accelerate its Bitcoin acquisition, strengthening its position as Asia's largest corporate Bitcoin holder and increasing investors with plans for future bond issuances and Bitcoin-based shareholder rewards. Metaplanet, often referred to as the Japanese MicroStrategy, has announced the issuance of 4.5 billion, approximately $30 million in zero bonds. Yeah, we read that part already. The firm is positioning itself as Asia's largest corporate Bitcoin holder. The announcement marks Metaplanet's fourth series of bonds with a maturity date set for June 16th, 2025. The zero interest bonds will be released in tranches, which will allow the company to raise funds for Bitcoin purchases. Metaplanet plans to redeem these bonds through a previously issued warrants, according to reports. Just before I continue with the article, guys, another factor that people don't understand when they see these companies like Metaplanet and all these other companies following MicroStrategy's plan, here's the thing you're missing. MicroStrategy, to have their loans called in, Bitcoin has to crash down below around $16,000, okay? But they spent the last 4 years building that up and lowering that level, right? for sure. These other companies are going to have much, much higher debt ratios. Okay. What that means is that they're all buying it right now at these prices. MicroStrategy's cost average is way, way lower. So they're not going to get called on their debts until $16,000 Bitcoin, which Bitcoin won't get that low. These other companies that are doing that now, they're doing it with prices high. If Bitcoin falls back down to $60,000 or whatever in a bear market, a lot of these companies are going to have no choice but to sell because they're getting called on their debts, right? People don't realize that. They just think, oh, they're buying it and holding it and they're just going to hold. No, they have to liquidate if Bitcoin crosses a certain level and their buy-in price is much too high, right? You have to understand this kind of stuff. It's not just all bullish. Oh, they're buying it and holding it forever. There's situations where they'll have no choice but to sell, right? So you have to understand these things, guys. Since April 2024, Metaplanet has made Bitcoin its treasury reserve asset and has already acquired 1,150 Bitcoin worth about $122.67 million. This approach is similar to MicroStrategy's Bitcoin reserve. Metaplanet's new bond issuance is to speed up its Bitcoin buying strategy, specifically to purchase more Bitcoin by issuing zero interest bonds. Metaplanet avoids short-term financial stress while using the funds to grow its assets. Investors benefit because these bonds are sold at a discount but pay the full value in maturity. The bond issuance news resulted in 51% surge in Metaplanet's stock price over the past 5 trading sessions. Shares reached an all-time high of 4,270 JPY, increasing the company's market capitalization beyond $1 billion. Over 27.8 billion yen, $180 million worth of Metaplanet shares was traded, showing the company's ability to capitalize on its Bitcoin-centric approach. Even Simon Jurovich, CEO of Metaplanet, acknowledged the market's overwhelming response. Metaplanet plans to issue additional private replacement bonds worth up to 5 billion yen to expand its Bitcoin reserves. These bonds are to be issued in partnership with Evo funds. The proceeds from the bond issuance will also be allocated exclusively to Bitcoin's purchases, reinforcing Metaplanet's long-term vision. In addition to its bold investment moves, the company also announced its Bitcoin rewards program. The company announced a $30 million yen, or 30 million yen, 199,500 prize pool, which will reward shareholders who own at least 100 shares as of December 31st of this year. Through a lottery system, 2,350 selected shareholders will receive varying amounts of Bitcoin. Metaplanet issued 4.5 billion in zero-interest bonds to increase its Bitcoin holdings, strengthening its position as Asia's largest corporate Bitcoin holder. It plans further bond issuance and Bitcoin rewards for shareholders. You'll love to see it. Love to see it, guys. All right. What else do we have? Let's get caught up here. Lord of the Realm, what's up, man? Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Funky. I respect the insight. Maybe banks and governments might sell and buy into other things. I could see banks and government holding, because they're not taking out debt to buy Bitcoin to put on the balance sheet. The government's just printing money. They're probably just going to print money to buy it at the end of the day, right? So they can withstand a bear market. They don't care. These companies that put it on their balance sheets, though, they're issuing debt to buy this Bitcoin. And if the price of Bitcoin falls lower than a certain level, they get called on those debts and they have to sell the Bitcoin to pay those debts off, right? That's the difference. So governments and banks don't have that problem. So you are right in saying that governments and banks would have less of an issue holding Bitcoin as a reserve asset, right, than these institutions will. So you are correct in saying that. Right. What else do we have? Ankit, we are Patreon member guys. We all get info for what Rob says he will do. So we're pretty good, and we will know what to do. So join the Patreon, guys, so you don't have to do boo-boo do mistakes in the market. Yes, 100%, guys. Absolutely. Get over to the Patreon. I will be live over on the Patreon after this live stream is over, guys. Nick Carter thinks the strategic Bitcoin reserve would shake the world's confidence in the dollar.
Hey, Nick, I want to talk a little bit about a strategic Bitcoin reserve. A lot of folks we've been talking to over the last few weeks think it is something that is likely going to happen under the Trump administration. You're not one of those folks. Why do you not see one happening?
It depends what we mean by strategic reserve. If we're talking about a stockpile and just holding the Bitcoin the U.S. government has already seized, unclear how much they have right now. They might be selling off some of those coins. I think we can reasonably expect that to happen. Trump's been clear on that front. If we're talking about Cynthia Lummis's bill buying 1 million Bitcoins over 5 years, acquiring more Bitcoins for the U.S. government, or even potentially moving away from the existing dollar system to a Bitcoin-backed system, I don't think that's likely. I don't see support in Congress for that. Congress would have to authorize that. I don't believe that it would be prudent, frankly, for the U.S. government to signal a move away from the dollar system, move to a commodity standard based on Bitcoin. Any other nation state, it makes sense for them to acquire Bitcoin, and they are, Bhutan, El Salvador, that's fine. The U.S. is the issuer of the global reserve currency. We shouldn't do something that would call into question our own solvency. So even though I am a Bitcoiner, and it would certainly benefit me if the U.S. government started buying Bitcoin, I'm also an American, and I don't think it would benefit anyone if we were to shake confidence in global markets by implying that the dollar is at risk.
Well, as we mentioned, Bitcoin rising to a new record for a second day in a row today, hitting $108,000 per Bitcoin. I wonder, Nick, to what extent the optimism that we've seen is about potentially a strategic reserve from the U.S. government, or other optimism with regard to President-elect Donald Trump's policies when he does take office. If we do not see a strategic Bitcoin reserve or the government starting to buy Bitcoin, do you think we're in for a correction?
Yeah, I think that's a risk factor for sure. The hardest thing about being a Bitcoiner is you're in the trade with a lot of delusional people, right? And whether it's the stock to flow theory or now the strategic reserve, which I don't think is likely to happen, I think there is a bit of a risk that these elements are being priced in, and when there's disillusionment, it sells off. All that said, I said before the election, I thought it would hit 100,000 if Trump was elected. It has done that. Trump himself, he sees vindication in market action. I think he told Axios that he wants it to be 150K. You can fact check me if I'm wrong. Trump wants Bitcoin to go up to vindicate his pro-Bitcoin stance. He's a markets-driven guy. The shackles have come off this industry. It's a new era in Washington for the world. So the rally, I think, does have legs. I think it has fundamental soundness to it. But at the same time, we should be cautious of getting overly bullish about things like the reserve.
You're not the boss of me. I'm not being cautious about being overly bullish. All right, Bitcoin rally hinges on spot market activity and derivatives slow down. The latest Bitcoin rally gathering strength since October happened with a dominance of spot trading. While derivatives trading slowed down, recent market demand showed renewed spot open interest as BTC grew over $108,300, a new price record. Bitcoin rallied to its most recent price record as market sentiment shifted to increased spot demand. Analysts noted since October, market influence is demanded on spot trading rather than being driven by the derivatives market. During earlier bull market stages, open interest on derivative positions was higher, while spot trading and flows to exchanges were slow. In the latest quarter of 2024, the BTC fund flow ratio increased its baseline, suggesting a higher flow of funds to and from exchanges. The fund flow ratio is a metric of on-chain BTC transfers against transfers to exchanges. A more active exchange flow means the focus shifted to spot trading. If the past quarter of 2024, both derivatives and spot trading accelerated, however, as the year comes to a close, spot activity is growing more dominant. Derivative open interest for BTC on major centralized exchanges stalled at around 33 billion, sinking slightly from its peak. The BTC derivative market goes through cycles of accumulation and liquidation of leveraged positions, which we've seen multiple times, guys. Those cycles often boost the price of to a new range, causing the liquidation of short positions with time. Interest shifts to additional accumulation on the spot market. Leveraged positions, accumulation, and liquidation cycles are happening at lower levels without causing significant drawdown events. At the same time, BTC traders often use the spot market to realize short-term gains and reaccumulate. The behavior of short-term traders, whales, also goes against retail sentiment. As BTC trades above 106,000, retail is bullish, while smart money has turned bearish. Overall trading behavior shifted the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index to the extreme greed level at 87 points. Demand is rising for owning and controlling BTC in the form of long-term reserves. Instead of leveraged positions, bets on the value of BTC are made by storing coins that are instantly accessible. Demand for physical coins and spot trading led to an increased Coinbase Premium Index. The index has been in the green for most of the past 30-day period. The Coinbase Premium Index is showing higher demand for spot BTC buying on the US dollar market. The index measures BTC's price on Coinbase against the Binance market, suggesting increased demand for direct buying. Spot trading at BTC also expanded to share the US dollar trading. More than 21% of all BTC volume are against the US dollar, diminishing the role of stablecoins. Despite the expansion of stablecoins, the dollar-based spot market indicates a shift to direct BTC demand. The other major source for BTC holding are miners, who still own 1.9 million coins. ETF buying is also ongoing, retaining more and more coins through Coinbase custody. The third biggest source of demand for BTC comes from corporate buyers who are buying BTC through new bond issues. The source is also the biggest shift from fiat to crypto ownership, betting on long-term BTC growth. Demand for Bitcoin ETF absorbs most of the physical selling pressure as orders cohorts of holders realize profits. Bitcoin ETFs absorb 90% of the selling pressure. Even large-scale whales have easily found liquidity on the market. Demand for MicroStrategy's Mara Holdings and other corporate buyers is also a significant drain on the available coins. Demand far outpaces daily BTC production of just 450 new coins. The current condition with actual transfers of coins is even larger. Whale wallets are expected to create a supply crunch. Based on the rainbow chart, Bitcoin is still in the accumulation zone and possibly far from the cycle top. The next potential levels to see BTC test is 110,000 to 125,000. At the same time, long positions in the $102,000 range suggest liquidation attacks may lead to a short-term drawdown, which is what I've been saying. We could see Bitcoin come back down to about $101,000. There are a lot of longs sitting around that $102,000 level, which the market most likely will go after to liquidate. Guys, stop putting in leverage trading where there is an abundance of it already. Market makers will always go after it and liquidate you. Franklin Templeton's Kendra Dudley says the market rally will not be sustained in 2025 Let's listen in.
You were saying that in order for the thesis that you have, this sort of bullish American exceptionalism story to bear out, you need to see breath get better.
Yeah.
And we've seen pretty bad breath. And I keep thinking about the other way to read that every time I say that. But Max Kettner of HSBC said, we've previously found breath to be a poor timing signal. Why is it important to you? And at what point do you change your bullishness based on that?
I think the reason is that we don't want to over-index to just so few stocks. So I think that that's the first indicator of breadth. The second thing is if I look at what has driven that top part of this market, those magnificent seven, it has been AI, and it is really being AI fuel growth. The second stage of AI is actually AI permeating businesses throughout multiple lenses. So if I look at it, the first element, from our business point of view, is just our own back office and the ability of AI to help us serve our customers better, get better data on them, meet their needs more quickly. The second element of AI for us is obviously from the investment lens where we're looking to invest in other companies. And then the third element of AI is how we permeate it through actually making better investment decisions. So how do we control better for risk? How do we identify trends? How do we look at unintended correlations? And I think that that's the three-pillar part of AI is what's going to drive the next part of the market. It's this idea that AI isn't just a one-man band or one-person band here. It is really going to start moving into the kind of mid caps and the upper end of the larger caps.
Can that happen next year if the Fed finishes their rate cutting cycle?
Yes. I think that the Fed is going to be pretty much done. I have a look at some of the notes. We have been on the end. We have been fairly much in the camp that rates will be higher, that the rate cutting cycle would stop much earlier than the market is expected. And I think the market's moved to our position. We are looking at federal deficits. I think as we go into the next year, you need to have a look. People are bearish. So why are they bearish? Well, they're bearish because the market's done so well.
Well, great. T. Rowe Price is talking about potentially even 10-year yield hitting 6%. At that point, when does that start to eat into equities?
In terms of why would it eat into equities, obviously, if you have that long end of the market where you've got a ton of value sitting in the long end, you've got over-leveraged companies, that's where the rates are going to hit you again. But if I take a look at that type of narrative, what you're basically saying is that the fiscal deficit is going to destroy America. And I just cannot see that. I have a look at what's happening. I have a look at everything that's being done to address our costs. And I think that America has still got a very good narrative. So I think we can adjust to those type of yield numbers. I think what we're more adjusting to is the fact that the yields, the rate cutting cycle is pretty much at the end of it. It's done.
People bearish when markets are doing well. Go figure, right? All right, let's get back into the chat here. Instead of multi-year bear markets, they might last several months at most. Also, instead of dropping 80%, it might only drop 20% due to high demand. Bear markets may not disappear, but they will become smaller and less volatile as time goes on. Yeah, I could see that. Nacho, what's up, buddy? JASMY all-time high, 5. Rob, did you see Simon's cat got listed on Binance Spot and Bybit? Super hot bullish. Yeah, I saw that. I did actually see that earlier today. I haven't talked about it yet, but yes, I did see that happen. So if you're holding it, I am extremely happy for you, my friend. I am extremely happy for you. Even if you're not holding it, I'm still extremely happy for you, right? Nothing but love. All right, guys, that's the stream. That's the chat. That's the news. I will be live over on the Patreon in about 15 minutes, guys. Get over there. Join me live for a group video call. We're going to discuss all of the major happenings in crypto and where we think things are going. So I will see you over there, guys. The link is in the description. It's in the chat. It's in the pinned comments. Get over to the Patreon. We will help you design an exit strategy and a profit-taking plan to suit your needs. Like and subscribe to the channel, guys. I will see you in the next one.